Bill Jones here in Oxnard, California with the Cowboys and with Mickey Spagnola of DallasCowboys.com as we had our first padded practice of training camp on Sunday. Cowboys back on the practice field for padded practice number 2, and this would be practice number 6 for the team, starting the second week of camp. But let's get started, Mickey, here with the news of the day. The news breaks early this morning that the Cowboys have lost a veteran offensive guard, Rob Jones, for a little while anyway. Rob Jones was quoted by the Cowboys website as he thinks he's going to be out 2 to 3 months now as he has a broken bone in his neck. This is a tough loss early in camp for the Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely, especially it came a day after he actually got to work with the first team offense. He stepped in for Tyler Booker. And they took a good look at him. They thought he had been playing well, so they wanted to reward him. And then the next day, that happens. And I guess this morning he was walking around with a neck brace on, although he was putting a hoodie on, too, to cover up the brace. But anyway, yeah, it's a broken bone, out a couple months. And unfortunately, they brought him in as a kind of a bridge to make sure Tyler Booker was ready. At the guard position, paid him 1 year, $3.75 million, and for at least some backup experience, if nothing else, and then they lose him this early in camp.
The interesting thing about the padded practice yesterday, Rob Jones, number 65, and by the way, you're able to watch it on the CBS News Texas streaming channels. We were able to carry it live and on TXA 21. He went through the entire practice, and in fact, after practice, was out here on the practice field, mentoring young Tyler Booker and working on some different things. And it wasn't until he went back in and got it checked out that he discovered that he had a broken bone in his neck.
And it seems like the Cowboys, as much as they try to get some experience depth on this roster, these guys get hurt. Last year it was Chuma Edoga, the backup swing tackle, gets hurt in camp, and it's like, okay, Tyler Guyton, you're in for better or for worse as a rookie. So, they just can't seem to build up some depth, experience depth on the offensive line.
The good news on it, though, it sounds like, if the reports are true, that maybe by mid-season that he might be able to be back out here. And the other thing that's been interesting to see and really shows the makeup of Rob Jones is the fact that he is being a mentor to a guy. Because when the Cowboys signed him, he was a 17-game starter for the Dolphins last year. He's probably thinking at the money that they signed him for that he's got a legitimate chance to start this year. And then the Cowboys obviously drafted a offensive guard in the first round of the draft. But for him, to the selflessness for him to understand what his situation is and work with the young player who's 4 years younger than him, I think says a lot about him.
Yeah, and think about it. We hear 2 to 3 months. Say it's 2 months. August, September.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're still playing, 13 more games?
Yeah.
So you just got to hope it heals and he get back out here and he end up playing them, or at least be active the majority of the season.
All right, the other big news yesterday is the fact that Jake Ferguson, the Cowboys tight end, has a new contract. It's 4 years, $52 million, $30 million guaranteed, and a $12 million signing bonus.
And the Cowboys looked at it and said, we'd like to get this done. And Jake Ferguson looked at it and he goes, well, I can play the last year on my rookie contract for $3.4 million base salary, or I could sign this extension, have 5 years with $30 million guaranteed, and they gave me $12 million signing bonus that, guess what? Today, I can put that in some account, right? And I'm no financial advisor, but I think it earns interest somewhere, right? So it's better to make $12 million in 1 day than $3.4 million base salary over 18 weeks.
I'm going to say this for the benefit of my daughter, who loves all these social media influencers out there, and Haley Cavender, who my daughter is very familiar with, is Jake Ferguson's fiance, and just got a big old rock put on her finger. And so I'm thinking that $12 million signing bonus helps pay for that.
Probably
too.
Covered it, right?
Maybe covered part of it, as big as that rock was. All right, Jake Ferguson, though, he
Yes.
is exactly what the Cowboys and what Brian Schottenheimer loves to have at the tight end position,
Yeah.
his entire makeup.
And last year he battled some injuries, and he even admitted it. You know, he worked this offseason like, I got to change some things. I got to be healthy. I got to be there. He watched his diet, upped his protein during the offseason, and so
cut
far,
out Oreos.
Yeah, cut out Oreos and talk to. And I don't know what 250 grams of protein is a day. It sounded like a lot, but again, he's started camp and he's looked really well. And you know, and everybody a lot of times wants to accuse the Cowboys of dragging their feet on extending guys. Well, here's a guy they did a year early, and as Stephen Jones said, we sign guys who want to sign. Hint, hint, hint.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. Well, more from Mickey later in camp. By the way, you can catch Mickey's work on DallasCowboys.com and check out his podcast as well, Mick Shots, which in training camp, going again Wednesday at 11 a.m. Dallas time, Friday, 11 a.m. Dallas time, and then the following week it'll be on Tuesday and Thursday.
With our host here,
season.
Bill Jones,
there
by
you
the
go.
way.
All right, I was trying to be very
I'll pat you on the back.
There we go. And Everson Walls during the season is on there, and here in camp, Nate Newton is on it. All right, that does it from here in Oxnard, California. Check all our coverage here on CBS News Texas.